Hey, what's up, Vikings? Are you ready to install a Valheim dedicated server, but you don't understand Linux, but you really want to play with your friends and family? Well, guess what? I have made it as easy as possible for you, and you don't even have to understand any type of Linux. All you have to do is follow a simple tutorial, and then I have a whole script that will do everything for you and all the other functions you will need to have a successful Valheim server. Now, mind you, my Valheim server has been up for seven seven days now. Zero issues, zero crashes, no complaints. So I'm not going to cover any type of how to set up DigitalOcean or AWS or anything else like that. I'm going to already assume you have a dedicated server somewhere and all you want to do is install Valheim. Now this script will work on Ubuntu because that's what it was built for. It will also work for Debian, but you might have to do a couple extra commands and that's going to take some Googling, and it will also work for CentOS. You need some extra commands as well for that. But I'm only going to cover Ubuntu. If you have any questions, go to the Discord and we will make that happen. And I want to say thank you to everybody that's been participating. I did not expect my GitHub to blow up. Look, I didn't do anything. I wrote one script and then you guys have just made it amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So you're not here to listen to me babble. Let's pretend you already have your dedicated server installed somewhere. You're going to click my GitHub link, which will be in the description. It'll take you to this page right here. You scroll down, you have to look at my ugly face 2 more times. I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do about this. There's absolutely nothing I can do about this. Scroll down here to where it says installation, and then you start at step 1. Now, I highly recommend using Putty. You can Google Putty. I'll put a link in the description so you can download it. Highly recommend using Putty because if you can connect to your server with Putty, then your firewall rules are already set up. And all you have to do is mirror whatever SSH or port 22 is doing and do it for your Valheim port. And those are all in the wikis. Just go to the GitHub, ask a question, jump in the Discord, ask a question if you get stuck. So we open up Putty. We paste the IP address in here because I already had it cut and paste, and that's not my IP address. I'm just going to select it. You just cut and paste your IP address in here. Make sure it's port 22 and hit open. You're going to log in. Let's just go side by side. You're going to log in with root. You're going to type in your super duper password that no one's ever going to be able to guess. It takes you here. You're going to come to step 1 where it says sudo apt-get install. Yes, these tools, I already installed it. Once that's done, you're going to come down here. You're going to change directory. You're just going to cut and paste. Boom, cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste. And then you're going to copy step 3, which is downloading my scripts from GitHub. Just paste it in there. It's going to download them. You're going to go to step 4, which is changing into the directory of the dedicated Valheim server. You might have to hit enter, you might not. It just automatically did it for me. And then there's all the files. Now you can see there's 2 files here. There's the build dedicated Valheim server. That's the old script. It still works. If you're an advanced Linux user and you want to use that script, use it. If you're advanced or you're brand new, never touched Linux before, you want to do the menu system. So the first thing you want to do, we have a step here I will add for the menu system, but you want to do sudo chmod plus x menu system. So we're going to do that. Sudo chmod plus x menu.sh. Hit return. Now, if you look, you can see that build dedicated Valheim server is green. That's because it has execute permissions. When we do a long list on the directory again, we can see now menu.sh is green and it's ready for execute permissions. And then all we're going to do is type period. Let's make this big. Let's go big. And let's flip me. Let's just flip me because you don't want to miss any of the commands. How do I do this? How do I do this? Flip horizontal? Yeah, dog. That's how you do it. All right. So now we have menu.sh is green. And we're going to type period / menu.sh, and then we're going to hit return. Now look at this. Easy menu system. You don't even have to do anything. And if you need to see if there's any type of updates in the future, you simply hit 1, and it will check for updates. There's no updates because we just pulled it. To install the Valheim server, you're going to use option 7. You press 7, and it says fresh install or reinstall. It doesn't matter. Maybe you might want to reinstall your server because you jacked something up. Or maybe this is your first time, so you're going to say fresh install. So you hit option 1, press return, and it's going to confirm, do you want to install Valheim server? We're just going to type in yes. There it goes. There it goes. This is so easy, Dr. Disrespect can do it. That's pretty easy. Tim the Tap Man can do it. That's how easy this is. So it's going. It's going hard. And it might take maybe 5 minutes. If you have a baked potato and you're running, Ubuntu on it, might take a little bit longer. But we just let it go through. Let it go through. And I want to do this as raw as possible so that you can see that I'm not skipping any steps. There's no cutscenes. There's no me stitching everything together. No. This is me connecting to a brand new Ubuntu box, downloading the script, executing it. So let's just see what happens. It's going. And I want to thank, while this is installing, I want to thank the other people that have been contributing to the script itself. We have 7 contributors now. Thank you very much. If you're an advanced scripter, please take a look at the code and make it better. Give me some tips, or like submit, push I think it's called push. Do something to GitHub. I'm learning all this stuff. Just say, hey, Zero, your menu sucks here because X, Y, and Z. This is how you fix it. I will fix it. I will make it better. And I will give you credit. So as this goes through, maybe you're going to ponder, like, what do Vikings do in Valheim? I don't know. Chop down trees and then get killed by one that falls on you? I have died like 12 times because of damn trees. I have also died so many times because the serpent, every time I try to take my iron from this island to this piece of land, I die. Every time. But you know what? Eventually I'll make it out of the Stone Age and into the Iron Age, or the Bronze Age into the Iron Age. It's just not my day. Someday I'll get there. There's one option you got to hit here. Just say no. Like drugs, just say no. All that is just for like something to do with DHCP. If you know what DHCP is and you want it to be updated, say yes. If you don't know what it means, select the default, say no. And it's going to go through. It's going to wrap up. It's going to update the manual DB, which is, again, the manual database. I might have said it in another video. That's why I'm saying again. But that's pretty much the longest part. It's just going to go through and say, hey, I'm good to go. Let's play. But there's a catch. There's always a catch. There are 4 things you got to put into this script. No longer do you have to edit a configuration file. Now you just type in your information. It's going to be the Steam user that is created on this particular Ubuntu box. That is going to be the user that runs all the operations. It's not your Steam account. It is just a user for the Ubuntu box to do functions for Valheim. It's also going to ask you for your public display name. So your server shows up in the browser when it actually works. Right now they're working on that. So Steam and IronGate is working on getting people's public servers to lists. They've improved it in the last patch, but there's been issues a little bit. It's still hit or miss. But we're going to just hope that when we list our server, it's going to work. The other thing is going to be your server password and your server world name. So your public name and your world name are 2 different things. Your public name is obviously for what the public needs to see, and your world name is what your internal game world is going to be called. So right here, the first thing that it's going to ask is give a Steam password. Make a password for this thing. We're going to call it 0 bandwidth is going to be the password. 0 bandwidth 12. Now it's going to ask what is the public name that you want to have. So we're going to call it 0 bandwidth world. All right. Now it's going to ask you What is 8 characters or more for your world name? Make it something different. Do not make it the same. Name it like Loki's hidden face. I don't know. That sounds good enough. It's going to show your public display name and your world name because your password needs to be unique. If your password matches your public display name, it's not going to work. And if your password is less than 5 characters, it's not going to work. In the script, I have made it to where you have to have 1 uppercase, 1 lowercase, and a number. So if you type something like this, it's not going to work. And for security reasons, I wanted to make sure that your password wasn't easily guessed. So just do 1 uppercase. You can do ASD, a number. It's more than 5, right? So we have 1 uppercase, 1 lowercase, and a number. Hit return, good to go. So it's going to show your information. Make sure you remember it because you might need it later. And then it's going to finish out the build. Now it's going to go through install Steam command, which is required to download the Steam game, as well as the Steam client for Linux. And it will go through all the process. It's automatically going to accept all the terms and services. Thank you, the contributor. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. It'll be in the notes. Submitted the code to my GitHub and said, hey, add this in there. That way it's automatically done. So you can see it created the non-Steam account. It created the Steam command symbolic link. It's setting the Steam permissions. It's installing Valheim from Steam right now. It's going through everything. You don't have to do anything but sit back, drink coffee, and just fantasize about the world that you're about to go in and destroy with your friends, if I had friends. Pretty much I just play by myself, but that's okay. It's going to, right now it's validating the information. Now it's definitely installing Valheim because Valheim's 1 gig. The previous stuff was all the Steam files required to actually run the service. Speed times will vary. But it's doing it. It's doing it. And right now I'm thinking about like, man, I gotta get my bees. Are my bees happy? Are my beehives far enough? If you ever put your beehives too close, they're like, dude, bees need more space. Okay, well, I've seen beehive collectors before. They don't need a lot of space. I've seen like beehives like stacked on top of each other. I don't know why we gotta put so much distance behind our beehives. It's going to check to see if you have a Valheim configuration already. If you do have one, it's going to erase the configuration and put the new information in there for you. Because some people might want to restart their world. They might want to make a new world name. And they don't want to go through the whole process of destroying their virtual system. They just want to like, hey, I'm just going to hit reinstall. I'm going to change my name and it'll be a brand new world. So that's what this does. And look, it's starting the Valheim service right now. That's pretty cool. And done. Look at that. It's all done. Well, that's it. Your service is ready to go. So we could go back to the main menu by hitting 0. We can look at our system info by pressing 2. It'll display your stats on your computer. It'll display your hard disk information, how much RAM you're using, CPU usage. You can do your networking option by pressing 3, and you can see that actually port 2457 is listening. And you can see anything else that is connected. And I'm using a VPN, so that's good to go. And then we are going to go to 5 for our sysadmin tools, right? And in 5, we can actually back up our world. We can hit 1, back up the world. If your backup directory is not created, it's going to go into your world directory and automatically make a backup for you. You can also restore your world. It'll list the amount of backups you have in your backup folder. You can pick whatever backup you want to restore. You can press 1. You can say, yes, I want to restore that. And it will actually go through. Oh, I didn't hit Y. I didn't follow the instructions. We can go restore, select 1, press Y, and it will go through the whole process, restoring the database, restarting the services, good to go. So as it's taking the file from the backup, it's unpacking those files, putting them in the world directory, and restarting all the services. So a lot of this is a bunch of Linux commands. So if you didn't know Linux, it's all done. It's all done for you in the system. We also have, you can stop the service, you can start the service, you can restart the service. You can check the status of Valheim if it's running. Look, everything's running. It's active. There's my username and password. There's my world name. There's my display name. It's all there. We can go back to option 7. You can check and apply Valheim server updates. So a lot of the questions previously was, hey, how do I update my server? Or hey, how do I do X, Y, and Z? Well, it's all done automatically. And if you don't use this script, all you have to do is actually restart your service, and then Valheim will actually look to see if there's an update. And if there is an update, it'll automatically install it for you. So the last thing I want to show you is option 6, which is tech support tools. So if you're having any issues, you can come into tech support tools. You can show your Valheim configuration. That way you can cut and paste this to people that are trying to help you. Or you can cut and paste your Valheim service and share that with people that are trying to help you. And you can also display the world data folders that are in there, just to make sure your files are actually in there. They have the right permissions. Everything's ready to go. So yeah, that's the menu system. That's the easy installer script. I have made it as easy as possible. Please have fun. Go out there, make as many worlds as you want, and yeah, be an awesome Viking or a bad Viking, whatever you want to do. If this script helped you out, just let me know. I don't need you to subscribe. I don't need you to hit that bell. I don't need any of that. Save that for the popular YouTubers, the ones that want to be amazing. I'm just trying to help the community. And if it helps you, great. If it doesn't, well, I'm going to move on to my next project anyways. So until then, happy gaming. Here you go.